Hindi pwedeng tinuturo-turo nyo kami.
Ganyan.
Hindi nyo pwedeng sinasabi. Makinig kayo. Huwag kayo nagpapalusot dito, ha? Sinasabi nyo, yung letter na sa inyo eh. Tapos nag-break kayo. Double jeopardy. Hindi pwede yon. Sorry. Hindi po kami papayag nun. Kung alam po namin, hindi kami mag-break. Tama po ang chair. Kina mo nga, mag-break. Gusto nyo Holy Week, magtrabaho tayo dito eh. Darating natin ang secretary. Burn the midnight candle. Ano eh? Nakita naman natin ang laki-laki ng mga ninanakaw sa gobyerno sa pag-implement ng mga proyekto O di, tanggalin ang pagnanakaw, o bawasan,
yung maleta.
edi yung systems loss o yung inefficiency ay i-improve.
Dito ho natin makikita ang angas nitong si Sharon Garin. Binanat-banatan mo itong si Leandro Libiste yari ka ngayon sa nanay niya. Pagka tumayo na hong ganyan itong si Senator Loren Legarda, iba na ibig sabihin yan. Ibig sabihin yan, ilabas nyo na yung maleta. Hindi, joke lang. Tayo naman, joke lang yon. Siyempre, merong hugot itong si Senator Loren Legarda. Daming nahihirapan ngayong mga panahon na to. Ito ang pinaka-importanting hearing ngayong mga panahon na to. DOE Secretary ka, hindi ka a-attend? Hindi ka sisipot? Magkakaproblema ho talaga tayo dyan. Ito, continuation ho tayo sa nangyayaring hearing sa Senado. Game!
Pero tuloy-tuloy pa ho yung aming hearing. At kung kailangan po mag-convene, ready naman po magkaroon ng special session at any time. No?
When did you give the letter? Kasi, alam nyo, hindi pwedeng tinuturo-turo nyo kami.
Ganyan.
Hindi nyo pwedeng sinasabi. Makinig kayo. Huwag kayo nagpapalusot dito, ha? Sinasabi nyo, yung letter na sa inyo eh. Tapos nag-break kayo. Double jeopardy. Hindi pwede yon. Sorry. Hindi po kami papayag nun. Kung alam po namin, hindi kami mag-break. Tama po ang chair. Kina mo nga, mag-break. Gusto nyo Holy Week, magtrabaho tayo dito eh. Darating natin ang secretary. Burn the midnight candle. Walang labasan sa kwarto hanggang hindi nakita ang pagtulong sa itang tao. Pero huwag niyong sasabihin na nag-break kami. Kaya hindi napasa yung hiniling ng DOE na congressional approval. Hindi po, sir. Hindi niyo kasalanan yon kasi wala ang inyong sekretarya. I can't think of anything more important than this hearing convened by the chair. And if the other cabinet members are here, why could the most important department not be present?
Nako.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And may I reiterate, Secretary Yusek Fentabella, na kung pwede namang ipagpaliba muna ni Secretary Garin yung kanyang mga meetings. Tingin ko hanggang mamaya pa tayo dito. After Malacanang meeting, mas magandang pumunta ho siya dito.
Yan.
No? Pakisabi na lang ho sa kanya. Pinadala niya sa akin yung mga schedule niya. Tingin ko naman mas mahalagang makausap niya ngayon ang taong bayan para marinig sa kanya mismo kung ano yung kanyang mga plano kung sakaling mawala talaga tayo ng langis. No? So, okay. Go ahead. Can you...
Okay. Apologies, Your Honors. Just to clarify, when it was mentioned that a letter was sent, it was for a future action. But we commend definitely the action of the Congress on what we requested. Now, when we saw that there is a need for us to shift, that is a further action. Pero na-trigger na naman po yung dati nating ginawa. And secondly, on this one, may nakita lang po kami another improvement. That's why we immediately sent the letter. But that was just yesterday po. So it's definitely unfair for the Senate to be on the record na naka-break. Pero apologies, but we certainly just want to place it on record that we are doing all this and immediately forwarding our observations to the Senate or to the House. Yung mga nasabi po ni Yusek Sales, yung mga iba po doon ay for future action. The trigger, even though we needed to shift, na-trigger na rin po naman siya. So, ang sinasabi lang po natin, paano po ba tayo may improve moving forward? And also so for the PNOC, there are funds available. But how do we improve further? Yun po, that's why we sent that letter yesterday, just to set the record straight po. And definitely the secretary will be informed po of the chair's message. Thank you very much po.
Thank you so much to our dear friend Yusek Wimpy for clarifying that. It is important we put things on the proper perspective and accurate. Kasi pag soundbite lang, kailangan congressional approval. Pangalawa, kasi nag-break. Hindi pwede yon. Imposible naman namin hindi inaksyonan. Kahapon lang pala. Pero we can take things into consideration if it's deemed urgent or can it wait until May. As the chair has said, naghihiring naman tayo. Kaya lang, ito po, Mr. Chair, may tanong kami ni Sen Kiko, hindi namin makita. Binasa po ng DOE yung mga urgent contingency plan. Ang pagkaintindi po namin, work from home at carpooling. So, ano ba ho ang top 3 na pinakamahalaga na ginawa ng DOE para maibsan ang pagtaas ng presyo ng petroleum products at matulungan lahat ng sektor? Kasi ang narinig namin yung carpooling at saka yung work from home Hindi naman po yun emergency situation lang. Marami pang ibang dapat na mararamdaman po ng tao. Hindi namin makita yung iba. Thank you.
So, the first ones that we definitely closely with the DILG, the coordination po with the DILG and with Yusek Iringan, it brought about an online meeting last Wednesday with all the mayors Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and some of the governors were present as well. These were to align yung mga roles and mga basis ng batas para ipatupad po natin yun. The other one is how to make sure that we have supply. So aside from the private oil companies going about with their partners and suppliers on the contracts of where and when they will get their products, there is that added venue or channel wherein the PNOC or the government is also looking into additional suppliers just to make sure that we have the supplies needed. Kaya nga po, yung inventory natin, it's not breached. We have sufficient supplies and hindi pa rin tayo, we will not let our guards down. That's why we mentioned that aside from the existing money, we may need additional arsenal and additional options. But nonetheless, again, we apologize for that. We will be more circumspect in our statements. But it's definitely thanking the committee for holding this meeting, because in our way forward, and that is the third one, no, kasi it's really supply on the ground and supply for the country. On our way forward, it is really imperative for us to pursue the transition. What makes the situation different from 1973 is now we have electric cooking more available. Now we have more renewable energy and indigenous sources that we just need to fast track. And sometimes we need more bold reforms so
Nako.
that we can.
Nako, usapang renewable. Sen Loren, padaluhin kaya natin si, ano mo dyan, yung bata mo, si Leandro. Ginipit-gipit nyo kasi yung mga permit Tumakbo tuloy ng congressman.
Have a faster way forward in having a more secure, not only for energy, but overall national security. So, we commend the DMW and the DFA for their presentations na yung mga OFWs natin, pinapasalamatan natin, pinapangalagaan natin. Pero isipin po natin that our energy behavior should support what the OFWs are doing. They are sending us dollars, and yet we are sending out dollars because of our energy behavior. So we need to focus on the solutions previously given to us, but there was a lot of things that happened that even included the the downgrading of the Ministry of Energy to an office, and then it was reborn to a department. But still, the march towards energy independence that is aligned with climate change, nandun po siya lahat. We just need to move faster. And this is an opportunity. Every challenge gives an opportunity. So yun po yung siguro pangatlo na masasabi ng DOE na kailangan talaga whole of nation siya to make this country stronger. We need more of the indigenous. We need teamwork on the demand side, energy efficiency and conservation, the carpooling, the work from home, and other strategies that does not reduce our productivity. So yun po yung pagiging wais sa paggamit natin ng enerhiya. Thank you very much po.
Mr. Chair.
I think Senator Bam first and then Senator Risa.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. So, naintindihan ko itong presentation nyo, no? But I just want to zero in on a few issues na nasa isip ng ating mga kababayan. Okay, so let's answer very quickly, Yusek Wimpy. No? So, unang-una, may chance ba na dahil sa tumataas na presyo ng gasolina at diesel na magkaka-brownout tayo? Ang alam ko hindi, di ba? Kasi magkaiba siya. Can you answer it on the record, please? Yan ang iniisip ng mga tao ngayon.
Hindi po dahil sa oil crisis ko magkakaroon ng brownout sa inyo.
Okay.
Baka po tatamaan yung wire pero hindi po dahil sa oil crisis.
Okay, so we are assuring the public na itong krisis sa presyo ng diesel at gasolina hindi magdudulot ng malawakang brownout. Correct?
As of now, no po.
Okay,
But we
thank
will
you.
tell you and we will inform, we will be transparent kung magkakaroon po ng ganung issue.
Okay, so malaking bagay yan kasi didikit nila yung brownout sa presyo ng oil at gasolina. So nililinaw ninyo. Okay, pangalawa, sa pagbaba ng presyo ng diesel at gasolina, ano ba talaga yung pwedeng gawin ng gobyerno? So sa pagkakaalam ko, free market tayo, we're deregulated. So the only thing that we can really do is to probably affect the taxes, no? Kasi yun ang kinokolekta ng gobyerno. We already provided the emergency power sa excise tax, no? As you know, and Secretary Balisacan knows this, I've been against that from my first term, yung paglagay ng excise tax sa diesel at gasolina. Ngayon, gagawin na yan. So makakapagpababa yan, no, ng presyo ng diesel at gasolina. Tama?
It can, but it also depends on how we want to affect the behavior of the consumers. Because if we want to move away from fossil fuels, we increase taxes. If you want and more subsidies for indigenous sources.
But you're talking kasi long-term, Yusek Wimpy, no? We're talking short-term, no? Yung short-term relief natin, isa na itong pagbaba ng excise tax. Napag-usapan na namin yung VAT. VAT is 12% of the price of fuel at the gas station. Correct, di ba? Is that a possibility na isuspend rin natin yung VAT? Kasi kung 12% yan ng 120 pesos, di ang laki niyan kaagad, di ba? That's what, 14 pesos, 15 pesos right away. Napag-uusapan ba yung suspension ng VAT sa inyo, Yusek Wimpy?
It's more of having a different rating.
Okay.
It's not suspending because there's a supply chain that we have to note when we talk about value-added tax.
Okay. So
It's probably zero rating or a lower rating
Okay.
for consideration of our economic
But
management.
definitely, napag-uusapan yung pag-reforma dito sa VAT pagdating sa petrolyo in emergency situations. Napag-uusapan siya.
All taxes because we have to make sure that we itemize everything under the unbundling principles po. Yes,
Okay, so let me tell you, for the record, handa ang Senado na ipasa ang reformang yan kung kinakailangan, no? So we will, I think, Senator Lauren has said it as much, we will go back and have special session if needed, if we need to do reforms on the VAT. Yung excise tax, nagawa po namin yan in record time, wala pang isang linggo. In fact, baka 2 session days lang nagawa yan. Yung VAT na pag-uusapan na namin, and we would like to also know from the economic managers if this is something that we can do. Kasi apart from the excise tax and the VAT, meron pa bang ibang paraan na mabababa natin yung presyo ng diesel at gasolina sa gasolinahan? Meron pa ba na magagawa ang gobyerno, Yusek Wimpy?
Well, we have targeted beneficiaries na kailangang matugunan po. But I think we have one more slide for our recommendations.
Okay, let me just finish, no? Kasi I want to get to the point, no? So sa short term, nandyan talaga yung pagbaba ng mga buwis para mababa natin yung presyo ng diesel at gasolina. In the long term or medium term, your goal is really to ensure supply, to help the private sector to make sure na may supply. At then ginagawa nyo naman yan, Yusek Wimpy, correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, itong mga reforma for having a longer reserve, definitely gagawin natin yan from 15 days to 30 days. Yung mga reforma na kung saan you have to, maybe the DFA is here to work with the other countries to trigger yung APSA. It's there in your recommendations also. So, gagawin natin yan para masigurado namin supply. So, for DOE, yun talaga eh. One, ano yung pwede gawin para mababa yung presyo ng diesel at gasolina? At handa ang Senado na gawin yung kinakailangan namin gawin para makatulong kami dyan. Pangalawa is to ensure that there's supply. Kasi pag mawalan tayo ng supply, napakalaking dagok dyan sa ating ekonomiya. No? Pangatlo, with DSWD and DOTR, it's to support our transport workers to ensure na tuloy-tuloy ang public transportation natin. Tama ba, Yusek Wimpy? Ito yung mga pinakamahalaga na kailangan natin tugunan. No? This is really the main that we can, that DOE can do right now.
Yes, sir.
May kulang ba ako? Meron pa ba akong hindi nabanggit na pangunahing activity or pangunahing reforma na ginagawa?
Also, the demand side management.
Okay.
We have to be very wise in the use of our energy.
Okay, and that's consumer behavior, no?
Yes.
So trabaho nating lahat 'yan na maibaba ang consumption natin habang mataas yung presyo at habang sinisigurado natin na mas mahaba yung supply. Correct, no?
Yes, sir. So we can categorize it into supply, both ensuring supply and price that is affordable. Second one is also the demand side management. And the third one is the long-term reforms pa.
Okay, very clear. So ang hihintayin na lang siguro namin, and you can talk to the economic managers about this, is yung VAT. No, baka magandang pag-usapan.
Yan, yung bat.
Kasi kung titigil na tong problema sa Middle East, no, itong conflict, hindi naman yan bababa kaagad eh. Yung presyo ng diesel at gasolina, ilang buwan pa yan bago yan bumaba. So, whether it finishes tomorrow, in 2 weeks or 3 months, nakikita natin na 3 buwan hanggang 6 na buwan pang mataas ang presyo ng ating diesel at gasolina. Correct, di ba?
Only God knows, but it went down today and then it may go up again. So it's
If
undetermined.
the conflict ends, kung matapos yung conflict in the next week, bago makita ng taong bayan na bumaba yung presyo, ilang buwan pa rin yan, di ba? Hindi naman yan instant eh.
That's correct, Your Honor. But we're also looking at the market behavior in the sense that the suppliers are also adjusting. Meaning, if they are producing 100 per day, some are producing 110 per day because there's a gap. So, yun po yung pwedeng nakikita rin nating adjustment.
Okay, but my point lang is that yung pagbaba ng presyo,
Di ba natin ano dyan kukumbirahin si Boying Remulla? Gusto kong marinig sasabihin ni Boying eh. Kasi yung mama na yun, meron mo siya solusyon sa lahat ng bagay eh. Naiintindihan niya lahat ng bagay eh, no? Gusto kong marinig ang mga punto de vista ni Boying Remulla dito sa problema natin na to. Sa pagsipaan ng presyo ng mga produktong petrolyo. Magaling nga si Boying. Biglang nadabay ang ombudsman.
will not happen instantaneously as the end of the conflict. Ilang buwan pa rin yan. So maganda pa rin siguro, Yusek Wimpy, pag-usapan natin ano pa ba yung mga pwedeng gawin para makatulong tayo sa taong bayan. And again, I'm putting VAT on the table because we have discussed this in the caucus. Pag-usapan natin, maybe with the DepDev and DOF, if there is a need to lower this para mas makatulong pa tayo sa taong bayan. And alam kong, is the Department of Finance here?
Yusek Adriano.
Yes. I'm sure ayaw ito ni Yusek Adriano or may concern siya dito. Pero magandang mapag-usapan, makompute na natin kasi yung taong bayan naghahanap ng agarang tulong. And the excise tax is one, but VAT actually will be a bigger subtraction in the pump price, no? Kung masuspend natin ito. So please discuss it, Yusek Wimpy. Maraming salamat.
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Honor. Mr. Chair, we'd also like to place on record that when we submitted these studies to our economic managers, they were very open. In fact, the DepDev, as I recall, mentioned that we should also look into the competitiveness of the country comparing electricity and fossil fuel prices. So yun po yung pinag-aaralan ng ating economic managers. They're very open po. We just have one last slide.
Go ahead. Before
you.
that, I think Senator Risa has an intervention. Then after that, let's allow the agencies to finish so that meron tayong complete picture, and then we'll open the floor to questions. Senator Risa.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. At mabuti binanggit ni Yusek Wimpy yung renewable energies dahil tungkol doon yung isang tanong ko mamaya sa DOE. Pero sa ngayon, isang immediate observation muna dun sa presentation ng DOE. So sinabi ng DOE, maaring tumaas hanggang 105 to 134 pesos kada litro ang diesel. Ibig sabihin, tataas siya ng mga 13 to 48 pesos per liter. That alone, Mr. Chair, brings home to us so strongly gaano kalala yung sitwasyon. How much in a crisis we really are. Kasi kahit po yung ipinasa nating excise tax reduction or suspension, pagbibigay ng kapangyarihan sa presidente para gawin yon. I remember nung ini-interpellate ko si Chair Pia on the floor, sinabi niya sa estimate noon ng Department of Finance naman, pwedeng bumaba ang diesel hanggang 82 pesos per liter. Or ibig sabihin, pwede siyang bumaba by 6.72 pesos per liter. So yung inaasahan ng DOE na tataas ang diesel by 13 to 48 pesos, talagang lampas na dun sa inaasahan nating pagbaba gawa ng excise tax suspension or reduction, pagbaba ng presyo ng diesel by 6 pesos. So magdodoble or more than yung presyo ng diesel. Hindi mahahabol kahit ng ipinasa nating batas sa excise tax. Tataas yung diesel hanggang 105 to 135 pesos. Again, way past yung 82 pesos per liter na inaasahang ibababa ng presyo ng diesel gawa ng excise tax law natin. So we needed to pass that excise tax law para sa immediate short-term na cushion in the first few weeks of the war in the Middle East. Pero all the more we can support yung mga hinihinging contingency plan legislative actions ng DOE because we need to do more. At ihahanay ko na, Mr. Chair, dun sa more, yung binanggit ko na sa mga public statements
Nako.
early on in the war at kinonsulta ko rin kay Finance Committee Chair Sherwin yung pagsuspinde rin o pagbawas dun sa value-added tax na binanggit din ngayon ni Senator Bam at muli yung supplemental budget. 52.8 billion pesos para may 12 billion pesos dagdag sa ating mga tsuper, 2.8 billion pesos.
Lipat na ho natin, nangangampanya lang ho itong si Risa. Lipat na natin. Kay Senator Loren ho tayo.
We look at how that would impact on employment. Unemployment will obviously increase, and in terms of numbers, that would be as my estimate of employment. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, a quick intervention. Salamat kay Secretary Balisacan na makatotoo ang kanyang sinasabi. Kaya nga, paulit-ulit kami nagsasabi na kailangan makatotoo din ang inyong mga ginagawa sa gobyerno. My question is, ano po ang magiging opinion ninyo at ng economic team kung tanggalin ang VAT sa mga pagkain na basic commodities gaya ng delata, bigas wala gulay wala, yung mga sa palengke wala naman. Let's say noodles at process yung mga delata, hindi mga imported, yung mga mura. Kasi sinabi nyo na syempre ang consumption, household consumption, maaapektuhan dahil sa pag-remit ng OFWs na will be less, and of course, mahal ang bilihin. Pero kung tanggalin nyo ang 12% VAT para mas mura ang bilihin sa lower income, at mababawi naman yan kasi bibilin yan ng pagkain. Yung mga binibili sa sari-sari store o sa palengke na napapatawan ng VAT. Kasi for me, bakit may 12% VAT sa noodles at sa sardinas? 12% VAT din ang sa imported na mga bag na 100 or 200,000. It does not make sense. Sa basic commodities na kinakain ng lower income group ay hindi ba dapat hindi patawan ng 12% na VAT? Subukan natin sa panahon ng krisis at i-compute natin yung mawawala. Sasabihin na naman nyo, malaking mawawala. Gawin lang natin efficient ang gobyerno nakita naman natin ang laki-laki ng mga dinanakaw sa gobyerno sa
Nako.
pag-implement ng mga proyekto
Nako.
O di, tanggalin ang pagnanakaw
Oh,
o bawasan
yung maleta.
o edi yung systems loss o yung inefficiency ay i-improve because it does not make sense to me that binibigyan natin ng 12% VAT ang luxury bags na hundreds of thousands, luxury goods and sin goods. Pero ang sardinas at noodles na mura ay may 12% VAT pa rin. Example, hanggang sa gamot, yung over-the-counter medicines, ayan, paracetamol. Yung 50 pesos, isang banig ng paracetamol, magiging 45. Sabi na, 5 piso lang yan. Pero malaking bagay 5 piso. Isang benda na 60 pesos ang halaga magiging 54 pesos. So, just the over-the-counter basic meds and the goods na usually kinakain ng mabilisan. I leave that to NEDA, Sec. Balisakan. Alam kong sasabihin na naman ng DOF, nandyan kayo, aray. Pero sa panahon ng krisis, paano? Kasi yun ang gusto po namin makita. Ano ang agarang mararamdaman na gagawin? Kasi yung kaninang pinag-usapan na excise tax, 30 days kailangan na 80 pesos mabibreach. 30 days. Hindi pa nga napipirmahan yung batas ni Presidente. So ang tagal. Sabi nga ni Senrisa, 30 to 45 days yun ang sinabi ng chair. Ito, meron din nakahain na paano ka lang batas, tapos sinabi din ni Senbam kanina, yung VAT isama natin. Kailangan meron tayong basket of good news na agarang aksyon, idagdag ang VAT. I-implement kagad yung excise tax na pagtanggal. Tanggalin ang 12% sa mga pagkain na delata, iwanan sa sin items, iwanan ang luxury items. I just want to put that on the table. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Just very quickly.
Senator Kiko and then Senator Risa.
I just got,
Napapakamot na sa ulo itong si Senbiga.
I was listening to the DepDev, the migrant workers, the FA, energy. I read in the papers that a crisis committee is to be created. Can anyone answer? Has it been created? I read in the papers that a crisis committee will be formed by the executive department. Can anyone answer? Is this true? Do you confirm it? Are you going to meet soon?
Mr. Chairman, we actually met a couple of times already.
Okay.
In fact, right after when the February 28th incident in Iran happened, the next day we were all summoned to the palace, and it's a series of continuous meetings, all together with the people in this room.
Yes.
So it's just we've already convened it multiple times.
So maybe there might be some communications problem also, no? Because hindi namin alam sa Senate. So hindi rin namin alam, kami ba kailangan niyo ba ng tulong namin? Yung pagpupulong ninyo sa crisis committee, ano na pag-usapan ninyo? So maybe baka no we might have to have a bet, baka mas kailangang mas maliwanag na direksyon dahil ang taong bayan may agam-agam, baka mas kailangan ng maliwanag na pagpapaliwanag ng anong gagawin natin. Dahil kung kami sa Senado hindi namin alam, nagmi-meeting na pala yung crisis committee, lalo na ang taong bayan, no? So maybe after this hearing later on mag-usap kayo, please relate to the President our suggestion that I think the crisis committee has to be more visible, and that there should be better coordination as well and communication between the committee and Congress.
Well noted, Mr. Chairman, but rest assured that most of the meetings that took place were part of the executive side, meaning all of them were for executive execution, like the different subsidies that we're rolling out. But we'll make sure to relay your message, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat.
Senator Risa and then Senator Lauren for...
Salamat, Mr. Chair. There was a point mentioned earlier na I hope Sec Balisacan can perhaps comment on in the rest of his presentation. I think I heard nabanggit na baka hindi naman maapektuhan yung presyo ng bigas. But there's already actually warnings about it na yung impact ng krisis sa imported fertilizer mararamdaman natin sa pagbagsak ng rice yields and therefore pag-contract ng supply at pag...
Si Lucaret na naman ho pala ito. Forward na ho natin, ayaw natin naririnig yung mga pamamulitika nitong si Lucaret.
National economy to slow down even more. So that's the issue. But I think if hopefully that I was hoping that as we look into improving the targeting of fiscal resources, support systems, we will also can identify potential sources of revenue so that you can mitigate any negative effects on overall spending.
Mr. Chair, we have one of the most regressive tax systems in ASEAN kasi tayong 12%. And the 12% on basic food items, yung mga kinakain talaga ng low income, pinakamahirap, it's a levy on the poor. It's a levy on the poor eh. Sa panahon ng krisis ngayon, pakita lang natin na may suggestion dyan, wealth tax, sige, gumawa tayo. Tapos itong levy o binubuisan na kinakain na mahihirap dahil napakataas ng food inflation,
Yan.
we'll get to that sa DTI, ay maski panandalian lang. Sana makuha natin yung computation dyan. Maliban dyan po, binubuwisan natin ng VAT, kinokolekta natin sa kuryente ang hindi naman dapat kinokolekta. In fact, this was corrected a few years ago. Nasaan yung listahan dito? Yung lifeline subsidy, yung systems loss. We are collecting VAT on electricity that is not being used, lifeline subsidies, systems loss, senior citizens subsidies, at yung electric cooperative capex contribution. These are not electricity na ginagamit ng tao ha, pero nangongolekta tayo ng VAT. O DOE at ERC, sumagot kayo. Bakit hindi natin i-correct ito? Sa panahon ng krisis, ay bakit hindi natin tanggalin na kaagad ito? Hindi kailangan. Huwag niyo sasabihin na naman, nag-break ang Senado at sumulat kami, pwedeng tanggalin. Kasi, ang BIR, andito ba kayo? Ginagawa na ng BIR 2 years ago. Natuklasan nila na mali pala ang pag-implement ng ilang pag-kolekta ng VAT sa, uulitin ko, universal charge, fit-all, systems loss, lifeline subsidies. Hindi yan, kinokolekta, hindi natin ginagamit. So, tumutulong ka na, di ba, lifeline subsidies, bubuwisan ka ba? Di ba? Ano ba yung VAT? Kailangan yan yung value added eh. So, I put on the table, DepDev, SEC, yung sabi ni Senbam, may panukalang batas na. Yun yung dagdagang VAT maliban sa excise. I put on the table yung murang bilihin at medical items na talagang basic. At sinabi ko yung epekto ng 5 piso sa isang banig ng paracetamol. And I put on the table, I filed the bill, and Chair Pia was very interested. I'm sure the Chair, ito ay hindi ginagamit na kuryente, pero systems loss, pinapatawan ng VAT. O ERC, anong ginagawa niya tungkol dyan? Sinabi na ba niyo sa BIR? At ang BIR ba ay bukas ang kaisipan kasi ginagawa na nila para sa iba. So may I hear from NEDA, DepDev, SEC, and may I hear from both DOE and ERC. Please do not tell me it's not possible kasi ginagawa na ng BIR sa dalawang bagay. Pag hindi nyo alam, sabihin nyo. Pero tignan nyo kasi makakatulong ito sa pinakamahihirap na kumukonsumo ng kuryente. Sec, thank you.
Can you have a quick response from Sec Balisacan on that query?
Yeah. Our position, Mr. Chair, is that we should explore all possibilities, all options, and see what is most
Safe.
affordable,
Safe. Ayos. Safe yan.
sustainable, most efficient, that would achieve the objective that Senator Loren just mentioned. Yeah, it's just from where I stand, the burden is really ensuring that as we respond to these issues and problems, that we are not curtailing our options and in the medium and the long term. Sana yung response natin is something that will put us back to higher growth and more inclusive growth as in the medium to long term. Kasi ang nakikita na natin, medyo humihina ngayon yung lumalayo tayo sa long-term growth path na gusto natin. Sana hindi matutuluyan yan. We go back. That's the only way we can catch up with our neighbors.
Thank you. With the indulgence of our colleagues, we'll have one more presentation from Department of Agriculture because obviously food security is a very important matter and it's also directly hit by the situation in the Middle East. So,
answer my question about bakit nagkokolekta ng VAT sa lifeline subsidy? ERC. Oo.
quick response,
Yeah, ERC.
Chairman Nino.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yung pong system loss charge, ito po ay generation cost at transmission cost na nire-recover ng ating mga distribution utility. Inunbundle lang natin yung iba't ibang components ng singil ng kuryente ayon sa EPIRA at nakareflect siya at system loss. Dahil ito ay para sa kabayaran sa mga kuryenteng na i-deliver sa ating mga utilities, ito ay napapatawan din ng VAT. Kung ito ay hindi isinegregate o inihiwalay bilang charge, ito po ay makakasama sa generation charge ng ating mga utilities, ganun din sa transmission. Pero po, nakipag-usap na rin kami sa BIR. Sa matagal na panahon, kasama rin po namin yung mga party list, APEC at saka yung PhilReca upang mapakiusapan ang BIR kung po pwede na pagdating na segregate na nga yung generation cost at transmission cost na patungkol doon sa system loss ng ating mga iba't ibang distribution utilities. Baka naman pwede sa puntong ito ay hindi na isama doon sa base na i-implementahan ng 12% VAT. Kaya lang po ay maraming pag-uusap na rin sa harapan, maayos at wala naman pong natutuloy dahil pagkatapos ng meeting, kapag wala na po yung kasama naming congressman ng party list, ay pag nagpa-follow up kami sa BIR, ay hindi, ganun pa rin ang nagiging posisyon. Ngayon po, mayroon kaming inaaral sa komisyon dahil nga din po sa sitwasyon na ngayon, kung po pwedeng kami na mismo ang hindi na magpapasingil sa mga distribution utilities nitong VAT na ito, lamang ay dahil ito ay patuloy pa rin kokolektahin ng ating BIR mula sa generation company at sa transmission concessionaire, sila na po ang papasa nito. Ito po ay mga kahulugan ng mga 0.8 centavo per kilowatt hour na kabawasan sa ating bayarin sa ating electricity bill, at ito ay i-absorb bilang cost ng ating mga generation companies at transmission concessionaire.
We'll request Chairman Nino to submit to us a position paper on that, no? Para mapag-aralan rin, and we can furnish the Committee on Ways and Means para mapag-aralan yan.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Mr. Chair.
the fact na ang BIR ini-implement na yung hindi pagpataw ng VAT sa universal charge, ibig sabihin, tama po yung posisyon na linahad po natin. At the fact na nagpulong kayo, tapos sabi nyo pagkatapos kinalimutan na, ay nagkalimutan lang kayo, di i-follow up nyo. hindi naman kailangan legislation yan eh. Yan ay maling pagpataw ng VAT sa mga ilang items na hindi dapat binabayaran ng tao. Hindi naman to makakabigat sa generation o sa kumpanya o sa co-op, hindi eh. Pinapatawan ng VAT, pinapass on sa mahihirap, ay hindi naman dapat nilang bayaran. Alam kong naintindihan nyo the fact na nagpulong kayo and the fact na ang BIR 2024 ay tinignan na ito at ginagawa sa universal charge. Tapos kailangan magbigay sila ng komprehensibong report tungkol dyan sa chair ng Protect Committee at Ways and Means rin. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So
We
we
will
call on
report, Mr.
Secretary Tio Laurel for his presentation on food security.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. May opening statement lang ako ng konti.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, si Chu Laurel na ho nagsasalita. Ano ho sila, nagkakaintindihan ho silang dalawa ni Laurel Legarda. Panigurado, magkakaintindihan nyo. Salamat po, mag-ingat po kayo lahat. Mahal natin. Nagsampa din ho ng kaso yan doon sa 18 Marine, kay Atty. Baligod at doon sa iba pa na ika nga tumulong dito sa 18 Marine na to. Yan si, kakasama sila. Yan si Senator Laurel Legarda lang ata hindi nag-aay ng reklamo sa